I'm going to get it started by introducing a good friend of mine, Patrick Ryan from News Talk 103.7. Oh, no, you're first. You're going first this morning. And we're going to get it going. And yeah, I thought, since Patrick's on the radio in the morning and I'm not a morning person, I would have Patrick go ahead and kick off the morning's presentations. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope you all have a great time.
What's going on with this? All right, okay, I see, let's see, 10, 20, 30. We've got the smartest people in Franklin County, Fulton County, that have made the right decision to be with us today. Such great speakers, such powerful information, and I'm so glad that you're with us here at this beautiful Scotland campus, Scotland Summit. David's here, and boy, I can't tell you how excited I am about the couple of seconds that I'm going to spend with you. First things first, my day started off with 3 police cars in front of my radio station in the heart of downtown Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, USA, right next to the Olympia candy store. So for me to be a little bit wired up this morning, you'll grant me a little bit of, I'm a little amped. I've had about a pot of coffee, and I've had police officers. I'm thankful to say here that the police officers did not arrest me. That's why I'm here with you today. I'm here to talk a little bit about radio. My radio station is News Talk 103.7 FM in downtown Chambersburg. We're a news and talk radio station. And I'm going to give you 5 things to carry away today about radio, and then I'm going to get off the stage. It's going to be nice, short, and sweet. I'm going to introduce you to 2 very important clients of the radio station, and they're going to tell you how well we're working for them and how alive radio is. Radio is not dead. It is very much alive. TV was supposed to kill radio. 8-track, there's a couple of people here who might know what 8-tracks are. Raise your hands, right? Thank you. Britt doesn't know an 8-track. Cassettes were supposed to doom radio. CDs, radio's dead. CDs are going to do away with radio. Cable TV, I don't know how many people are still using cable TV, but I hear a lot of people are cutting the cord. And MTV, we all remember MTV. It's actually turned out that radio killed the video star. So Al Gore and his internet, that was supposed to do away with radio. Satellite radio is supposed to do away with radio. You could call radio the cockroach of media. It just won't be killed, and I'm thrilled to say that it's more vibrant than ever. It works if you work it right. If you have a standalone advertising campaign on a radio station, that's great. It won't be killed. You have to spend the right amount of money, and I'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. It also works great with digital, which you'll hear from Pro Arts Media about combining your digital footprint with radio. Radio in the past has been very good working with, does anybody remember a phone book? Do you still get phone books? So working with phone books, working with print. Radio is terrific when it's with itself, and it's also even stronger when it's working with other mediums. So let's talk a little bit about how to use radio. Biggest is not always the best. There are some great radio stations in this area. There's a monster country station, there's a monster pop radio station, and they command monster dollars. You don't need the biggest to get the impressions that you need with people who are going to buy from you. If you've got the budget, I would buy those guys and I would spend all my money with them. If you have a smaller budget, smaller radio stations work just fine. Your favorite radio station, however, may not make any sense. I'm a news talk radio station. If a nightclub came to me and said, well, we got this dance club here, we're playing EDM, electronic dance music, and we want to advertise our nightclub stuff on your radio station, I would promptly say, thanks a bunch, see you later, I can't help you. So make sure that you don't pick your favorite radio station when advertising your business. The most important thing I can give you today is your salesperson. When you're thinking about advertising on the radio, you want to have a salesperson who is going to work like crazy for you. And they're not just going to pick up the phone. You're not going to have voicemail. You've got to have their cell number on speed dial. You want to have callbacks. I don't care how big your budget is. I don't care if it's $200, $2,000, or $20,000. That salesperson has got to be working for you like crazy. And they got to be tight with the morning program. So if you take some of these great radio stations that are competitors of ours, when you're talking to your salesperson, are you going to call me back? I hope so. And are you tight with the morning program? Because that's really where some of the focus is going to be here. And are they wise with your dollars? Do they know how to get you more besides your advertising? So can I, if you've got Pro Arts Media, and Pro Arts Media has some Frisbees out there, can your salesperson take that Frisbee and make it into a giveaway on the morning program? You need more than just commercials. You need a bunch of layers. And a really good salesperson is going to be a fighter for you. You want to get some interview time with the morning program. And that's where that salesperson who's connected to the morning program on your favorite radio station can put the dots together here. Let's play one of these clips here if I can. I want to introduce you first to Carl and Noreen Hill. It's about 1 minute or a little bit longer. From Hilltop Arms in Waynesboro. They use our radio station. They've used radio before, and I showed them how to use it a little bit more effectively. Roll it.
Okay, all right. So here with Carl and Noreen Hill, Hilltop Arms, 69 West Main Street in beautiful Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Carl, Noreen, you have used radio before and had not the greatest experience. Why is this experience, do you think, working out better for you? Carl?
Well, your demographic exactly hits that. We're talking conservative audience for the most part, people who are willing to take responsibility for their own defense.
Tell us about the last radio experience you had. What was that? What was it like? What happened? And why do you think it didn't work out?
Oh, it was egregiously expensive. The spots were not really put at the right time. It wasn't really matched with the right shows at all, and there were hardly any spots. It was absolutely just a money-draining experience.
People have been coming in and saying they hear you on the radio. You've gotten some positive experiences out of that you'd never had seen before, correct?
We've wasted thousands of dollars in print media ads. It just doesn't work for us. With one or two minor exceptions, nobody's ever come in and said, we saw you in this newspaper, we saw your ad in that newspaper. We have people coming in every week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, saying, hey, we heard you on the radio, we like what you talk about, we like that you're not just about advertising your guns, but you're telling us about issues going on in the industry, legislatively, and that makes a difference to people.
That was not an option with any of the other radio spots that we had done in past years.
It was just an ad placement, and they moved on. You give us so much more than that.
We've been very happy with the service at WEEO.
Real nice people. They used to have their store before they started running guns. That doesn't sound right at all, does it? Their store was a candle shop. They've been in small business all their lives. They grind it out every single day. I walked in and I just started having a conversation with them and figured out, how do we get you some personal time on the radio? How do we run some commercials? How do we get the needle to move? I'm certainly for my radio station. That's why I'm here. But I'm for radio overall. It's a very personal medium. You have to write the messages very personally. They have to have a personal connection one-on-one with people. And if it doesn't, then you're just throwing away your money. These guys threw away thousands of dollars. You heard her say, yeah, they just ran some commercials, and then they went away. I go back to the salesperson. I take it personally, and your salesperson, whether it's Pro Arts, whether it's radio, whether it's the phone book guy, whether it's the Franklin shopper, you've got to have someone who fights for you, and you'll know it. You'll smell it. You'll know someone who's BSing you, or you'll know someone who's going to put in the fight. Because as a salesperson, that salesperson's got to go back to a general manager, got to go back to a program director, got to go back to a disc jockey and say, hey, I've got Carl and Noreen Hill here. We got to get them a lift. You've got to do more with the small dollars that these guys are spending with the radio station. And every penny counts with them. So I take it really personally. Your salesperson has got to take it personally. And if they don't, fire them. That's all. It's not working out. Can you send me another salesperson? No harm, no foul. If they take it personally, they weren't worth your money in the first place. Let's play the second clip in just a second. Let me set this up. Karen Nitterhouse Diller is my next person that I want to share with you. Who knows if you know the Nitterhouse name in this town, you know the power of the Nitterhouse family. They heard some of the things that we're doing on the radio station and said, come on down. They called me. Shame on me for not knocking on their door in the first place. But they called us and said, we like what you're doing. Can you create something for us? And within a couple of days, and it doesn't happen with all radio stations, it rarely happens. It takes a little bit of time. But within a couple of days, people are knocking on their door saying, I heard you on the radio. And they're buying stuff. And then it turns into one customer is worth multiples. And she's going to talk a little bit about this. How much is one customer worth when you're spending on an ad campaign? Let's play a little bit of Karen Nitterhouse Diller, Nitterhouse Masonry and Hardware Supply off the Wayne Avenue Bridge in Chambersburg.
You've seen in the last 15, 20 years different advertising you've done, and thank you for advertising with us. What's the difference, do you think? Why did you choose radio, and what is the difference with our radio station at this point for you?
Your local radio station, 103.7, to me touches our community and is bringing our community closer together. And in the past I've done newspaper. I haven't had a whole lot of success because I don't think I touched people. With your radio station, I have definitely seen, I've touched people and they've come into the store and told me.
And what are they saying?
They say, hey, are you the lady that was on 103.7? Or they'll ask for a specific product that we even talked about on the radio station. One
customer for you, as you think about your advertising budget, one customer turns into, that's got a multiple on it. He or she is going to be an earned customer for life.
Right.
But how do you put a number, or how do you justify as a business owner going, okay, I'm going to spend this on advertising, and then how do you put a pencil to paper and go, that person's worth this much in sales?
Right, and hopefully, like you said, a lifetime customer comes back many times, plus I'm hoping they tell 7 other people. It's hard to put an exact dollar number on it, but I have been so impressed with what we've achieved through your radio station. My dad said to me yesterday he feels it's the best that we've done yet for getting people to come to our store and to know about our store.
But what were the challenges before, and how do you see them being somewhat on the path to being solved?
This store will be open 3 years in January, coming up. And the biggest obstacle was women think they can't come in here because they think it's a contractor-only based store. The radio is helping get past that obstacle. We're letting people know everybody's welcome. Contractors, of course, but women, men, children, everybody. And the radio is helping me get that message out.
Love her. She's great. She's funny, too. The interviews that we did with her, apparently, and I don't know anything about this story other than what they told me, but there used to be a monkey in town that people used to visit, children used to visit growing up here. And she started talking about this monkey story with the mayor. The mayor remembered the monkey, and all of a sudden, what started off as maybe a soft piece for hardware store on the radio turns into this whole big dialogue about monkeys. And the people that came in and talked about that, there are more customers for it. It got funny. So I leave you with, talk to your salesperson. And the other thing I leave you with is I'm an advocate for radio. I think my competitors are great at what they do. Radio works just fine if you have the right dollars, if you have the right salesperson, and if they're not being wasteful with your money. And I'll give you one good wasteful example. Radio remotes. I hate radio remotes. Unless you have a truckload of cash that you don't care about, don't do a radio remote. And if it's a grand opening of a store, okay, I get it. If it's somebody else's money, okay, terrific, go ahead and spend it. But other than that, they're one and done. The radio station would come in, they set up their hot dog machine, they set up giveaways, they set up their Frisbees. I love Frisbees. And they hand this stuff out, and then they're gone. It's a sugar high. They come in, and then they leave after 2 hours. And you're looking at yourself as a business owner going, wow, where is everybody? I would strongly recommend against radio remotes. There's more, you get more, if you have that kind of money, spend it over a long term. Do something different with it. Radio remotes they were cute 20 years ago. You hear them at all the car dealers. Come on down for free popcorn, get yourself a CD or an MP3, get yourself some tickets and kick a car. Come on, think about your lives. Do you have something better to do with your time than to go to a radio remote at a car dealer and get the free popcorn and a CD? Probably. I'm taking a guess. The last thing I'll leave you with is, if I can be of service to you, you find Nathan, find anybody in this room, and call me, and I'll be happy to give you an honest, objective opinion of what you're doing in the radios that are in the area. And I'd be happy to, and even if it doesn't turn into a sale for me, I'm fine with that. I'd much rather help you. My name's Patrick Ryan. My radio station is 103.7 News and Talk, and I appreciate your time and hope you learned something out of it today. Thank you.